Hi, welcome to my channel. This channel is against the Big Bang, but in this video I will speak about free will. So, John Searle, listen, I cut from a channel and I insert through my videos. It's like you write a book, but you insert some passages. So, listen the question. He says that we do not resolve the free will. So, listen.
John, about 7 years ago, you told me free will was one of the biggest scandals in philosophy. Scandal getting any better?
No, it's getting more scandalous, I think. And the scandal is, after all these centuries of worrying about it and all these very intelligent people writing and thinking and debating about it, it doesn't seem to me we've made any progress. On other subjects like consciousness and morality and political rights, it seems to me we have made some progress. But where free will is concerned, we're pretty much back where we was when I started doing philosophy a long time ago. And I have to say, maybe even generations before that.
So after you watch that, you know I'm a little bit hurry. I don't want to justify further. This is a coffee science. I'm speaking about against the Big Bang, but I was sick and tired. So I am philosopher. Like I studied philosophy. So I said let's open our list. Maybe I attract some people into my channel. But you see that this subject has no. They say they did not discover, so we will speak about quantum will. Like quantum mechanics is stupid science. So probabilistic will, or but there has an equation. It seems to them like a magic thing, and that is stupid physics. And this first part that it says that between determinist and will. So I have many things to say. I start a list, only a philosophical list. So let me say a few things, like just a few things for now. But I will start a full list of philosophy, not even will, consciousness, freedom, what is power, and things like this. You must treat. So I start. Okay. So listen another part.
Okay, well, let's discern why. I mean, if we've made progress in some other areas and not in free will, I mean, one conclusion may be that it's not a real problem. It's a problem of definitions, or people are screwing things up in a linguistic sense, and it's unsolvable.
Yeah, well, let me tell you why it is such a problem. We can give pretty good arguments for saying we don't have free will. We're just part of nature like anything else. We no more have free will than a plant has free will. The problem is that we all have experiences, conscious experiences of making up our minds, of deciding something, where we experience a kind of causal gap. I have reasons for voting for a particular candidate in an election, reasons to vote against voting for that candidate, but all the same, at the end of the day, I have to make up my mind. Now, here's the amazing fact about that experience.
But now I must start to say something, okay? But let's say he says that he does not know what is will, free will and will. Okay, so let me speak about will. Do you have a will? It seems to you that the will is not like rational. Schopenhauer said that will and ration. You have a rationality mind and you have the will. It's like two people, one carrying in the back another guy. Like, so one is blind. So who do you think that is blind? The will. The will is the blind guy, but has the will. And the rational is the strong guy. But I'm saying like the rational guy is the same guy with the will. I'm saying like it's a single monolith that has all these parts. That is the will, it is power, it is rationality is the will.
We can't. Now, what is peculiar about this, you cannot evade that conviction. You see, if I come and think that free will is an illusion, all the same, I still have to make up my mind. If I think colors are an illusion, I can live my life on the assumption that colors are an illusion. But if I come to think that free will is an illusion, it's no good. I still have to exercise my free will. See, if I go in a restaurant and I order something and the waiter says, well, what are you going to have? It's no good saying, waiter, I'm a determinist. Everything is determined. I'll just wait and see what happens. Que sera, sera, it's an Italian restaurant. But that won't do, because the refusal to exercise free will only makes sense to me if I construe it as an exercise of free will. So here's the puzzle. We have good arguments thinking we don't have free will, yet we have to live our lives on the assumption that we do.
So I brought a guitar to explain to you the will, that the will is the rationality. So they say that you can want what you want, but you cannot like decide what you want somehow. But you can make what you want, but you cannot decide. So that's why I've told you that this part, the will, it is a rationality. It is the mind, the logic. But you do not believe this. Listen, let's suppose that you do not know how to play at a guitar. So you want to play. No, right now, play. So you heard that? So you want to play, but you do not know. So you see, the will, it seems to you that it comports like no temporal measure, like an instant thing. But it is a rationality, and you can improve on will. The will has like a power, and it increases. This is just a little bit in the first video, okay? But I will speak many videos about will. Where you want to listen to some music, a symphonic music. You see the will. It is this will I want to hear, but the knowledge you must know, like to go and buy a ticket. In the first place, it must sound to you maybe crazy, like opera guys. So somehow the will, you must train the will. You see, you must train it to sound like this. You see, so the will, now let's say that you learn this, the will, you see, but increases. Now you must know many, so the will defines itself. So the will is a rationality somehow, but it is more things. The will is the will of many wisdoms, let's say like this. They are reducing the intellect to single reasoning. You see, the will comports in a static manner, comports in a moral manner, in many domains. So different wisdoms that they try to think with a single mind, like the mind is composed. So in this manner there are many wills. You have a aesthetic will. You see, you want aesthetic things, you like beautiful things, like you understand. So the will comports like it is the rational mind. Now let me let it for this. If you are interested, I will take open an entire length video, okay? So both freedom, I will connect this with power. You can speak about absolute freedom, absolute power, like they say, absolute power corrupts. What is the relation between freedom and power and liberty is very important. Like, you see, if you now understand that the rationality somehow for freedom, you observe the increase of the will, you observe the increase of freedom. So let me put this like a fast video, but I will talk about what is the absolute will or absolute reasoning is to make a universe. Like, this is what powers implies. And you'll see that there is a relation between these two things, will and power. Will and power. If you can have the will, you cannot have the power. You want to do something, but you do not have power to realize. But so you can have even a power, but you do not have the will to make it. It is really a bit strange. But you must understand all this junction between this. How this is conducting liberty. The liberty increases if you understand. I believe that somehow you stagnate at the same way. You will listen bad music and things like this. You do not want to learn like an instrument, like to play on an instrument 2, 3. So in this way, your will of aesthetic will, music aesthetic will, it will increase. You will have a big rationality, a bigger freedom, if you understand. So there's a relation between. So you see that it say that you cannot say many things, but we will reach even what was the will and to produce the world and what God will. You must take this in absolute always, and you must speak about God.
That experience only makes sense to me if I assume that I really have a choice. That is the experience, this I call the gap. There's a causal gap between the reasons and the decision. And the experience of the gap is what gives us the conviction that we have free will. And
the will is not a choice between coffee, and these are choices. The will, you'll see that is transcendental, like if it is beyond this world. You'll see in this series, like Saint Paul says in the Bible, that a word is not bound, like he is referring like with some calf, like in a prison with irons. Okay, so the word is not, but they can imprison you, but the word is free. So there's 2 degrees of freedom, like a physical one and a transcendental one. You'll see that the determinists, that they say it is only a side of liberty. The determinist is self, because you play determinate, but it was after a process of will. So it is determined right now, but now the liberty is transcendental. You see, you manifest the will in listening, and you'll understand anything. Goodbye, God bless. This is the video for today for a will. I will make an entire list of philosophy. I'm sick and tired about the Big Bang. So let me see if I pull some people in my channel. Goodbye, God bless.